The Prime Minister is having to placate members of her own backbench, angry over last week's decision to bring in hundreds of foreign workers for a WA mining project.
The government says Australians will have first option and the project will create almost 7,000 more jobs. But the divisions are putting new strain on her leadership.
Celebrating something in common, Julia Gillard's hosting another first female Prime Minister, Thailand's Yingluck Shinawatra. But among her own colleagues, things are less convivial after last week's announcement to let mining magnate Gina Rinehart bring in 1,700 foreign workers for her Roy Hill iron ore project in Western Australia. The left is unhappy.
You could drive a 747 Airbus through the policy in terms of protections for workers.
If we go down the path of enterprise migration agreements, we'll get the Gina Rinehart outcome at the expense of Indigenous Australians.
Australians can apply, but the visa approval for Chinese workers on Australian wages and conditions has been granted.
6,700 jobs being delivered to Australians because this government has entered into this agreement. That's something I am justly proud of.
I think the caucus, when they have a look at all the details, will settle down on this issue.
It's also causing ructions in Cabinet. Julia Gillard told union leaders on Friday she wasn't advised until she returned from Chicago 2 days before.
The detailed brief was provided to the Prime Minister's office early in the week of the 21st of May.
I was fully briefed about the Roy Hill Enterprise Migration Agreement, having returned from Chicago on Wednesday.
The opposition's accusing her of hypocrisy for attacking Gina Rinehart one week, assisting her the next. Julia Gillard insists she's only criticised her mining stance, labelling Tony Abbott Gina Rinehart's butler. There's some simmering unhappiness with the Prime Minister's leadership on her own backbench too. At least 2 MPs who backed her in the battle with Kevin Rudd have changed their minds, but that doesn't mean there's a challenge on. Still, the question's again being asked.
Did you support Julia Gillard?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Do you believe there's any leadership challenge at the moment?
No.
The focus on Craig Thomson continues too, with Fair Work Australia before a Senate Estimates Committee. Its president rejects Mr Thomson's allegations of conflict of interest and bias in compiling its report into his time at the Health Services Union.
The appropriate forum to test such allegations is in a court of law.
Mr Thomson says that's not a denial. Karen Middleton, World News Australia.
There's been more bad news for more